Hey guys, Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. And for today, we have with us a very special guest. She is the Sales and Marketing Manager of Ayala Land and Logistics Holding Corp, Miss Gail Santos.
Hi Alex. Thank you for inviting me.
Hello, welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks also for this opportunity to present our developments and to talk about more about our project in Laguindingan.
Yeah, so we actually met 2 weeks ago when you flew in for the broker's presentation of your project in Laguindingan. But I understand that Ayala also has other technopark projects all over the Philippines. So can you tell us more about a little background about Ayala's technopark projects? Would you happen to know when they started developing technoparks?
So I represent the Technoparks group under Ayala Land Logistics Holdings Corp or OLHC. So we develop and manage industrial parks in the country. So we transform landscapes into dynamic urban centers. So we first started with Laguna Technopark back in 1990. So it is one of the first privately owned industrial parks in the Philippines. So from the initial development of around 200 hectares, it has now grown to 471 hectares, serving over 200 companies, so both foreign and local. So we are actually very proud of that development because it has contributed to the growth of the Calabarzon region.
Which is a
So
very hot spot right now, Calabarzon. Like everybody's buying there.
yes, so it's home to various industrial parks or ecozones. So the that area has really jump started the industrial zones in the Philippines. So that's actually our vision for each industrial park that we launch. So to open more opportunities for growth for the companies and also support the surrounding communities where we are. So after Laguna Technopark, we launched four more industrial parks. So in 2015, we launched two industrial parks that year. So we launched Alvera Industrial Park. It is a 60-hectare development inside the Ayala Land Mixed Use Estate, Alvera. So that's located in Porac, Pampanga. So the management of that development or of that industrial park is under the estate. So also launched in 2015 is Cavite Technopark. So this is our second development in South Luzon. So it's strategically located along the Governor's Drive. So it is presently at 166 hectares and it's continuously expanding. So we just launched the third phase last year. So it's continuously growing. So that's for Cavite Techno Park.
So
And
what
then
is
in
what is your biggest technopark?
so currently it's still Laguna Techno Park because currently it's already at 400 over 400 hectares. So that's the biggest as of today.
Wow, that's massive. So how long did it take to develop? Is it finished already? Like is it developed, the entire 400 plus hectares?
Yes. It's already a mature development. So we already have over 200 locators there. So all of these locators are already operating. So it has been 3 decades, over 3 decades. So
30 years.
that's 3 years. So the development is already mature. So we have a lot of companies already, both foreign and local, in Laguna Technopark. And then, yeah, so in 2019, we launched two more industrial parks. So we have Pampanga Technopark. This is a 192 hectare development located in Mabalacat City. So it is close to the major thoroughfares like um, NLEX, SETEX, TPLEX, and its close proximity to the Clark International Airport. And then, of course, lastly, not but not the least, the Laguindingan Technopark. This is our first industrial park in Mindanao. So it
In
is a one.
Mindanao.
Yes. So uh,
Do you
this is
have
a one.
also technoparks in Luzon? I mean, in Visayas area? Because I mentioned
Um,
the technoparks you mentioned were all located in Luzon.
none so far. So we have in Luzon and this Laguindingan Technopark in Mindanao. So hopefully we'll also be able to locate also in the Visayas region.
So usually
So
for, yeah, okay, you were saying.
So this Laguindingan Technopark. So this is inside the master plan development of Ayala land, which is the Habini Bay. So it has a strategic location because we are located beside the Laguindingan Airport. So with this project, we envision that this will be a new logistics hub in the Philippines because of its location in northern Mindanao, and of course, it's a gateway also to the domestic markets in Visayas and also in Luzon.
And the view there is beautiful. It's right beside the beach.
Yeah, the Makahalar Bay. Correct, correct.
So usually for technoparks, when Ayala launches one, what's the starting selling price of the lots? Like also the technoparks in Luzon and also here in Laguindingan.
Pangilinan. So the current price is at 5,500 per square meter, exclusive of the VAT. So this is actually the price where when we launched it back in 2019. So of course, because of the pandemic, well, we haven't increased the rates yet for Laguindingan. So that's the starting price for Laguindingan. So it's also a different case for the Luzon because of course the we have to consider of course the market, the present the value, the zonal value where we are present.
So for the technoparks, who usually sells these technoparks, because it's very different from the usual residential projects and commercial
Yes.
projects. So how do you get the brokers, the sales force, the agents to sell these technoparks?
So the buyers are actually residential buyers as well. So the buyers are companies engaged in a wide range of enterprises or industries. So for our technoparks, we allow light to medium non-polluting industries. So these industries can be food and beverage, consumer products, packaging, electronics, appliances, gadgets, so other items. So these companies are really diverse. So there's no really like a fixed industry in the techno parks. So in the recent years, we also have companies or buyers who are into the logistics industry or what you call warehouse leasing. So they put up a facility and lease it out to like let's say 3PL, freight forwarding.
That's
So
actually
especially
the in demand, very in demand here in Cagayan de Oro. Like I got a lot of inquiries from different companies looking for warehouses for lease. But
yes,
there aren't a lot of inventory available because once a warehouse gets leased, the renters usually leases it out for like 5, 10 years, like really, really long term.
yes, long term, yes. Especially now with the pandemic, the rise of e-commerce uh, also increased this demand for warehousing. So we saw that trend rising during the pandemic because of the demand for e-commerce. So a lot of shopping sites have emerged as well during the pandemic. So maybe that's one factor also for the rise in the or for the demand for warehouses.
So with Laguindingan Technopark, when is your target timeline? What's your target timeline for the development? When can it be turned over?
Okay, so we started with our land development last year, so around March of last year. So we expect to finish the land development works by within the first half of next year. So um, we have about 2 years, 2 years for the land development of the first phase for the Laguindingan Technopark.
So for the buyers that invested in Laguindingan Technopark, can it be turned over already within next year?
Yes, usually we turn it over upon full payment of the client. So if it's already ready for turnover, we can also do the turnover to the buyer, provided that the land is already ready for use.
So speaking of payments, what's the usual payment scheme for the lots located in Technopark, in Laguindingan Technopark?
Okay, so usually pre-pandemic, the payment terms is usually 12 to 18 months, depending on the number of lots the buyer will purchase. But now we have special promo terms wherein we offer up to 36 months or 3 years maximum for our payment terms with no interest, so zero interest for the 3 years. So the down payment has also been significantly reduced to 10%. So that's our promo terms for our Laguindingan Technopark.
So 10% down payment, is that payable outright?
Yes.
So
And then
10% spot down and then 90% payable in 36 months.
correct. Yes.
So the company will just then submit post-dated checks for
Yes.
the rest, for the balance.
Correct, correct. So we usually request requirements as well for the execution of the contract to sell. So that includes the PDCs or the post dated checks for the monthly amortization for the 36 months payment of the client for that particular lot.
What about the amenities? Are there amenities within Technopark that lot owners can avail of?
Okay, so we have like our admin office where we usually have banks, commercial banks, so for the convenience of our buyers, so they can have their transaction within that techno park or within our development. There's no need for them to go out of the development and transact outside of the development for their usual daily bank transactions. So we usually have banks located inside our technoparks or developments. Of course, we offer 24/7 security inside our technopark. So the buyers, they're assured of the safety and security of their staff, their company inside the technopark. So this is located inside Habini Bay. So Habini Bay will have the signature developments of Ayala land. So there will be residential, communities, commercial establishments. So it's really a community. So that's also one of the major factors or uh, major major factors that you will be enjoying inside the Habini Bay development. So you're in close proximity to this different establishments.
So Technopark will be a part, is a part of Habini Bay.
Yes, correct, correct.
Okay, so let's talk about Habini Bay. Like, what is Habini Bay? What will
So
it contain once it's done?
okay, so Habini Bay. So this is a master plan mixed use estate of Ayala land. So this will be handled by another SBU under Ali. So this development will have the residential brands under Ayala and also commercial establishments like a mall or a community mall or community supermarket. And then also they mentioned that they will also have a like a tourism area, especially in the area where you have a nice view of the Makahalar Bay.
Yeah, of the
So
beach.
yeah, so that's really an interesting development inside the Habini Bay development because it really has a nice view of the Makahalar Bay where you can have or we can you can enjoy sitting just enjoying the view of the Makahalar Bay. Also, they mentioned to us that they have plans of having a seaport within the development. So imagine you are located beside the Laguindingan Airport, and then there's
And the
also
port.
a seaport, yeah, within development. So if you are a locator inside the techno park, you have this major infrastructure projects in close proximity. So
And
that's really
there will be banks inside the whole development. So very convenient. Like, you wouldn't need to go to Cagayan to transact because you can do everything within Habini Bay.
Correct, correct. Yes.
With regards to the residential component, has Ayala mentioned any which brands will be there?
To date, they mentioned primarily it's Avida Development to jumpstart one of the residential brands
Will it be
for
a
Habini.
condo, house and lot development?
To date, it's a condo for Avida.
Wow, so there will
Mhm.
already be a condo in Laguindingan.
Yes, correct. So far, they're currently doing the master plan for the development. So we're also excited from the Technoparks group. We're also excited for the different brands that will locate inside the Habini Bay. As of course, it will add value to the whole development uh, in Habini Bay.
Yeah, so all these developments across the different companies of Ayala will just help each other increase in value.
Correct. Yes. So it's really a community of different brands under Ayala. So the customers or lot buyers will get to enjoy these developments from Ayala.
And you also mentioned before that this is the biggest development of Ayala in Mindanao, in Habini Bay, which is
Yes.
500 plus hectares.
Yes. Correct. So around 532 hectares development for Habini Bay. So that's a first in Northern Mindanao for Ayala.
Yeah, such a huge development. It will probably take like around 30 to 40 years to develop also. And it will be
Yeah, for
done
the
in phases.
Yes, yes. That was what they mentioned to us also.
So we can really see like the future already of Laguindingan. It's gonna be a thriving community. Like only an hour's drive from Cagayan de Oro. It's in between Cagayan de Oro and Iligan.
Yes, and with the current or with the ongoing projects of the government, so there are several road projects in northern Mindanao. So the 1 hour drive from Cagayan will most likely be shortened since we have this ongoing road projects by the government that will reduce the travel time from like let's say 1 hour to maybe 45 to 40 minutes.
Wow, hopefully, yeah. Actually, if you're coming from the uptown area, there's already a diversion road that you can use if you're a Cagayanon from uptown to Laguindingan area. And there's also ongoing construction by DPWH of another road that will connect Laguindingan to the uptown area. It's called the Pueblo Laguindingan National
Mm,
Highway. So it's a 6-lane road that will connect Laguindingan to the uptown. So you don't have to go around, like you don't have to go downtown and go around to go to Laguindingan. So it will be definitely a lot nearer.
yes. So these projects of the government will also benefit, of course, the residents. So uh, they will have less travel time, right, to navigate the areas.
Yes. So if there's a buyer, there's a company who's interested in investing in Laguindingan Technopark, what are the initial reservation requirements?
So we require the signed offer sheet. So the offer sheet will reflect the terms and conditions, the payment terms, the salient features of the UR. So we need to sign the offer sheet, and then of course the reservation fee of 1 million per lot. So that's the reservation fee for Laguindingan. So it's 1 million pesos per lot. So to reserve the lot, we will need the offer sheet, signed offer sheet, and then the reservation fee. So those two to officially reserve the lot for you. And
And
then
then
after,
after that, they will
so
need to pay the equity within the down payment within 30 days.
yeah, so the payment for the down payment is also the time that we execute the contract to sell. So the requirements for the contract to sell would be the PDCs and then the corporate documents of the buyer.
So once the all the requirements has been submitted, the check for the down payment and all the post dated checks, when can the buyer expect title to be turned over?
Okay, so we usually start the processing for the title turnover after the completion of the payment. So if currently our payment terms is 36 months or 2 years, so after that we will start after the payment has been completed, we will start the title transfer. So it usually takes about 6 months for the process to be completed. So depending also on the different offices, the government offices, and then the agencies handling the title transfer with regard to their requirements. Hopefully, we are no longer in a pandemic by that time. 2 years
The
from
markets
now.
are slowly opening up. So here in CDO, it's already very busy. I'm sure they're in Manila as well.
Correct. Yes. So we're thankful that the COVID 19 situation has stabilized because, of course, the markets are opening. I mean, more buyers are looking into investing. So we hope to see the end of the COVID 19 by
Yes,
end
it's
of the
been two
year.
years. It's been 2 years, right? Hopefully, we can enjoy Christmas this year with our
Yes,
families.
face to face, correct, and with no quarantine or lockdowns.
Yeah. How about with the other techno parks in Luzon? Like, what are the selling prices now at versus the launch prices?
So now the selling price in Cavite is around 8,000 per square meter. And then when this was launched back in 2015, from what I can remember, the selling price is around 4,500 to 5,000.
So
Uh,
similar to Laguindingan Technopark.
Correct, yes. So that's the selling price for Cavite Technopark.
And
For
the
comparison,
and the cuts also. The cuts are similar as well. The lot cuts.
when yeah, when we first started Cavite Technopark, the lot cuts are much more bigger. So the lots are bigger in terms of the size. We launched it with a size of around 8,000 to 10,000 square meter in lot cuts. So for Laguindingan, it's much smaller. So because we have around 5,000, 6,000 square meters in lot cuts. So the one in Cavite and also in Laguna are much bigger in terms of lot sizes because we have about 1 hectare as an average price.
So 5,000 and at 5,000 square meters at 5,000 per square here in Laguindingan.
Yeah, so the average is around 5,000 to 8,000 square meters.
5 to 8. So a 5,000 square meter would lot in Laguindingan Technopark would cost around 25 million, more or
Yes,
less.
more or less correct. Yeah. And then we also have a few lots which are slightly bigger, right, 9,000 to a hectare. So the buyers have multiple choices so depending on their objective or on their end use or on land use. So if they require much bigger lots, so they can accommodate.
Okay. So do you want to add anything else about technoparks? What's the what would the maybe last question would be what's the advantage of investing? What would the advantage of buyers be for investing in a technopark compared to just getting a regular lot and converting or building a warehouse on it, which is what people are doing now here in Cagayan. Like in Tablon, it's like the industrial zone of Cagayan de Oro. So that's where you see the factories, you see warehouses for rent, but usually the sellers, they just buy a huge tract of land like hectares and then they develop it by themselves and then put up warehouses and lease it out. So what would the advantage be of investing in a techno park versus putting up your own or developing your own area?
So specifically for Laguindingan Technopark, so This is the development by our group, so Technoparks group under Ayala Land Logistics Police Corp. So we're in the industry since 1990. So we developed uh, several industrial parks in the country. So all of our industrial parks are located in the growth regions. So near the major infrastructure projects of the government. So this is a primary advantage of locating in our technoparks. So you will benefit from these government projects or infrastructure projects um, of the government. So specifically for Laguindingan Technopark is strategically located beside the Laguindingan Airport. So you have this advantage of being located near the airport. So that's one of the advantages also. So also it is part of the Habini Bay development of Ayala. So it will have the signature developments such as the residential and commercial projects and even tourism zones and having a nice view of the Makahalar Bay. So you wouldn't get that in any other area
Yeah, it's by
in
the
like
beach.
yeah, it's by the beach. So you have this developments within your area or within your property. So so that's some of the advantage in locating inside Laguindingan Technopark. Of course, being inside a technopark or in Laguindingan Technopark, you will be situated also beside the some businesses, of course, that will also be beneficial to you. So it will be a community or a dynamic community of businesses where you can also have that opportunity. So more opportunities for you and your company because this is a community
Yeah.
of yeah businesses
So
of
aside from the great location, it's by the beach near the airport and possibly a seaport. It's also the community that's a great advantage since it won't just be you and your business. You will be situated with other businesses as well.
correct. Yes, of course, and of course, it's a given that we will provide a 24/7 security, of course, inside the techno park. So that's already a given in all of our industrial parks. So aside from the security, of course, the road networks is specifically designed for industrial use. So those are the
What's
major
the
advantages.
usual size or like width of the roads for this technopark?
So the usual width for the road right of way is 17 meters to 20 meters for the road right of way. So that includes already the sidewalk for the road right of way. So those are
17
the
to
advantages.
20. It's like
Yes,
you
20
should
meters.
double the residential
Correct.
roads because residential are around 6 to 10 meters. So
Yes.
this is
So
double. So it's gonna have
correct.
really wide roads for sure because of all the trucks that will be in the area.
Yes, correct. So perfect for the companies who are into manufacturing, logistics, where they usually use 40-footer container trucks or 20-footer container trucks. So that's really designed for trucks, the roads inside the techno parks. So yeah, so those are the advantages locating inside Laguindingan Techno Park. So you have that community, the strategic location, the usual amenities that we provide. So yeah, so we hope to work with your clients, Alex,
Yes, we're
for
excited to promote Technopark, and the roads are really a huge advantage because that's one of the questions that my clients ask me when I get inquiries about warehouses for rent here in Cagayan. They ask how wide are the roads? Can they fit like a 40-foot container van or like a truck? And then usually the roads are not always big. So
correct.
because the owners they buy an area and they build a warehouse and they don't always consider the size of the roads and sometimes the roads are just like 6 to 8 meters, so it can only accommodate like regular vehicles and not really like these huge trucks that the
Yes.
renters need to use for their business.
That will be hard for the drivers to navigate if it's not really wide enough for them, diba? So yeah, so in our technoparks, it's usually 17 meters to 20 meters road right of way for our technoparks.
Is there a height
Um,
restriction for the building since it's situated near the airport?
so we will comply with the height restriction by the CAAP, but in our technoparks, the height limitation is the number of floors. So that's 2 floors for industrial use, and then maximum of 4 floors if it's going to be a mixed use of industrial and office. So if, like, let's say if you have a warehouse, and then you will put up an office also in the same building, so maximum of 4 floors.
4 floors. Okay, so that's the maximum allowable number of floors for
Correct.
the owners of technoparks who will be building.
Correct. Yes.
So if Avida is going to be putting up a tower, the area where the tower is going to be located, it will have a different restriction since usually Avida is like high rise.
Yeah, though I'm not yet sure if it's, of course, if it's going to be like a mid-rise only, because
So no
they
no
haven't.
details yet
Yes, correct.
on
They
how
haven't shown
high.
it. Correct.
Okay, so do you want to add anything else, Miss Gail, about Technopark? Invite investors to invest now while it's still 5,500 and not 8,000. And like other Technoparks in Luzon, they've already appreciated. So here, it's still pre-selling price.
Yes, correct. So the selling price set at 5,500. We offer a special promo term of up to 36 months currently, so zero interest. So Laguindingan Technopark is strategically located beside the airport, so it's really a perfect location for companies, for buyers who are into the manufacturing or logistics industry. So uh, we want to be part of your company as well, and we hope to have you in our industrial park, specifically in the Gintingan Techno Park. So let us know for any inquiries, or you might want to connect with Alex for any inquiries regarding our industrial parks, specifically for Laguindingan Techno Park. So we hope we get to visit Laguindingan again sometime this year, maybe third quarter. So we'll inform Alex when we have that schedule, so we can meet your clients as well, Alex.
Yeah,
For
sure,
looking.
sure. Let's meet up when you come back here to see
Yes.
you. So thank you so much for your time, Miss Gail. And yeah, so invest in
Thank you,
Technopark
Alex.
now while it's still affordable at 5,000 per square.
It's 5,500 per square.
5,500 per square.
Thank you again, Alex. Thanks
Thanks,
for
Miss
having
Gail.
me. Hope to see you.
See you soon.
See you.